What's up, y'all? First time for everything. Doing a first video. I usually do this on my Instagram, drop it on my Instagram reels and just post it and go on by my business. But now I'm gonna make a whole video about it so we could chop it up even more. Y'all could just hear me ramble and just da da da. You know what I'm saying? So welcome to Gems with Jewels. This is my first video that I'm posting. And today's topic, we're gonna talk about my transition from being an athlete, a student athlete, whether it's from college, grade school, all the way to college, to an entrepreneur, which is what I'm doing now, right? So, boom. My name is amber.jewelz. Back then, most people know me as Amber Bennett. I was just Amber Bennett for some time before I even became an entrepreneur and an artist, right? So, I've been playing ball all my life. I've been playing basketball, volleyball, a little bit of track, a little bit of softball. I know about the game of football, can throw a football, catch a football. I can keep up with the game when I watch the sport. I'm just an all-around athlete, right? That's what I wanted to do all my life as a kid. I even said I wanted to go pro. At first, I wanted to be in the WNBA until I went to volleyball instead. And then I was just like, well, I want to do pro volleyball, which means go overseas and then eventually do my thing as like as a national player and eventually represent Team USA. But that ain't really work out for me, even though I did my thing overseas for like a season. I ended up coming back home and trying something different because athletics was over with. But what I knew all growing up, I knew that I wanted to do something that I love instead of doing something that I had to do. Like, that's what I knew I wanted to do growing up. Like, I never really could articulate what I wanted to do for a living. Like, you know how some people be like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a firefighter, a cop, a engineer, whatever. Like, I ain't had that. I was just, all I knew was I like to play ball. I like to play sports. And when sports is over with, I don't know. All I know is I want to do what I want to do for a living. I want to love what I do for a living. And that's it. Now, how that turned out, that just turned out. And I never really could articulate that until I graduated college and life hit me. And I was just like, dang, so what am I going to do? So, boom, I started trialing and erroring and really started I basically started asking myself questions. What I like to do, what sparks my curiosity, what am I naturally good at? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, just start trial and error and whatever. I just start following wherever my curiosity led me. And that's when I gained self-awareness about myself to know that I love creativity, whether it's rapping, like making songs, beats, clothes, putting on clothes, fashion, acting. Like, if it sparks creativity, yeah, more likely I'm gonna like to do it. Creativity. Even when I was playing video games as like The Sims, you all remember The Sims? Like, that was like my main attribute as a person, as a sim. Creativity, that was my thing. But creativity. So boom, because like, all right, after college, I went overseas and played in Europe for a season, right? It was cool, but it wasn't the lifestyle that I wanted. So I was just like, this is a good experience. But for all this, I really could just go back home to the States and figure something else out. You know what I'm saying? I'm already miles and miles away from my family. So if I'm going to go away from home like that, I need a good enough return on my investment. I better be living big. And I wasn't. Like, it was cool, but it wasn't cool enough for me to stay. So I was just like, all right, I'm grateful for the opportunity. I got a stamp in my passport. I can always say I did that, but let me go home and try to figure something else out. And then when I figure myself out, next time I come overseas, I'm gonna be doing my thing, and I'm still gonna stand on that. You know what I'm saying? So boom, came back home, end up, first of all, getting a job even with a college degree is hard. Even with a college degree, because I have a bachelor's in rehab services, right? I graduated with a bachelor's degree in rehabilitation services. Shout out to Alabama State University. That's where I acquired my degree in. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like I did that. Shout out to Bama State. That's where I got my education. You know what I'm saying? But even with a degree, it's hard. It don't matter where you get like, even with a degree, it's hard to get a job, if not a decent job. You know what I'm saying? And during my job hunt, I really became frustrated and resentful, like, of just the whole going to college process. Because I was just like, well, dang, like, what's the point of going to college and getting a degree if you can't even get a decent paying job? You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's the whole point of getting paperwork behind your name, to make yourself more attractive to get a job. You know what I'm saying? And it's a whole lot of people that don't have degrees out here. You know, it's people that got degrees, but I think it's more people who don't go to college than people who do. So it's just like that's kind of how that picture painted. Go to school, go to college, get a degree so you can get a job, a good paying job. Baby, it's people with degrees that freaking work fast food. You heard me? And I ain't talking about in manager positions. I'm talking like flipping burgers and dumping fries and got a degree. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, golly, but I'm not going to college. It's just, it ain't foolproof to get the life you want. But anyway, so boom, I'm frustrated with the job search, and eventually, like, my mom, shout out to my mom, she helped me get my first job. Well, I ain't gonna front, my first job I had got through a friend of mine, and it was basically me being a janitor at a school. Because when I came back overseas, I needed some money bad, like real bad. I was broke, like broke, like come out your pocket, it ain't nothing but cotton in it. You know what I'm saying? I was broke, couldn't even put money in my car to get gas. You know what I'm saying? Broke. You heard me? So boom, hurrying up, getting a job. Got a job as a janitor, was there for about a week or two, then dipped on that because my mom ended up finding me a little better paying job at a local hospital back in my hometown in Baton Rouge. So I started working as a tech, a rehab services tech, and basically you're just assisting therapists, physical therapists, occupational therapists. You're just a helper. You know what I'm saying? You PRN. You know what I'm saying? You really not making a lot of money, but you really just gaining more experience than money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing the job. It's cool, but like, I'm like, this ain't it. Like, I'm just like, I'm back home. I'm back home. I went from playing sports and traveling everywhere around the country and doing my thing to, dang, like, I'm a regular civilian working a regular job, doing regular, like, it's just, everything is just regular. Like, reality was starting to set in, and I ain't like it. So I'm just like, man, hell no, I gotta find a way. I gotta get the ball rolling quick with something, because I know in order to get something off the ground, it takes time. So I'm like, all I know is I need to find something and at least get the ball rolling. So I just started trialing and error. I just started thinking, like, what do I like to do? So I just started trialing and error. And then on top of that, like, I'm going through it. It's kind of turbulence in the house, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like, when you come back from college, like being away from home for a while, and you older, you a little bit more grown, you don't want to come back home to your parents because you got a taste of freedom and independence, and you done got so used to doing what you want to do just to come home and gotta go by 8 rules, 9. It was just, you know, it just got to the point where the house wasn't big enough for the three of us no more. You know what I'm saying? And I love my folks, but it's just like, when you get grown, it's just like you got to get your own. And it was a time where, like, I was just battling with a lot mentally, and it really motivated me to start writing. And I don't know what made me start writing in song format, and I just started writing, and then something in me just clicked and was just like, let me see if I could put this on wax. Let me see how this sounds to a beat. So I end up picking a random YouTube beat, and take my notepad, rapped on it with the beat, and then I recorded it off my phone, just off a rough draft type deal, played it back, and I liked what I heard. Excuse me. I was just like, dang, that's how I sound. I actually sound kind of good. So I'm like, boom, let me see if I can find somebody a little bit more professional and I could actually record a song. You know what I'm saying? Boom. So I knew some people around the town that had like studio, or at least studio equipment, that I could kind of ask. But people was kind of like giving me the runaround, like they wasn't serious about helping me out. Like they'll be like, yeah, we're gonna get in the studio, we're gonna lock in, but never locked in. So I was just like, all right, let me just take matters in my own hands and go find somebody myself. And I ain't know nothing from nothing. And I was like slick, like kind of shy about it, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want people to know that I was trying to rap, you know what I'm saying? Because it was so like out the box for me. People just knew me as an athlete and not an artist. So I'm fresh in the game. So I'm just like, all right, let me find somebody. Ended up finding somebody. Shout out to BBD Studios. And once I recorded with him, the rest was history. He had an in-house, in-apartment studio in his apartment, and I ain't know nothing about nothing. All I had was the lyrics and the YouTube beat that I wanted to rap on, and that was it. I ain't know nothing about no flow, stabs, dub, ad-libs, none of the technical terms that we record now, like that we use while we record. I ain't know nothing about nothing. You know what I'm saying? But all I knew was I had a lot on my mind, and I'm trying to figure some things out. So that's what it was. So yeah, man, just started recording. Now, mind you, I wasn't making a lot of money. Granted, I had enough money in my pocket for gas money, but still, like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't making a lot. I was just a PRN tech. So what I was getting, like $12 an hour, maybe. I wasn't making, and then I was getting paid every other week. So y'all do the math. Now, granted, it was a good thing that I ain't had a lot of overhead, you know what I'm saying, at the time, because I was staying with my folks, and, you know, I wasn't paying rent, you know, staying with them. So I got the pocket of, you know, some of the money that I was getting, you know what I'm saying? But I only had enough to record for 2 hours every 2 weeks, or every week, or every 2 weeks. Like, I ain't have a lot to work with. So just know, when I went to that studio, I meant business, because time was money. I didn't have a lot of money, but I knew I wanted to stay in the studio. So every time for them 2 hours, that was like my safe place. I got 2 hours to let it all out, to get it out of my system, to create, to be productive, to produce something that could possibly be worth something in the future. And the rest was history. Like, once I started rapping and that bug bit me, but I couldn't shake it. I was just like, yeah, this is definitely something that I want to do. It was like discovering a newfound sport that I found out that I'm good at. No. It's not a newfound sport. It's more so a newfound talent. I already knew about the sport, but now I'm just like, dang, like, I might actually have an act at this. You know what I'm saying? I always knew I could rap, because like I would be I would be chilling with some of the homies sometimes, and a beat will go down, and I'll just be josing, just being silly, not even being serious, but just be talking and play rapping, and then I'll notice like the little reactions that I'll be getting, be like, oh, you know, you kind of nice with it, just be talking. Like I off and on all my life, I knew I could kind of spit. You know, I remember being on a school bus one day when I was a little girl, like I'm talking middle school age, like little girl. And I said something, I said some type of clever line. And then somebody on the bus was just like, hey, yo, that's bars, low key. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy how I remember that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I said something about we gonna tear it down like Chris Brown and get it popping. You know what I'm saying? Something, because, you know, Chris Brown got a song called We Could Be On and Pop It, and then I made that. And that, like, I don't know, I said something clever that made people be like, oh, all right. So all my life, I knew I had a little something in the chamber to rap, but, man, I was playing sports. I was playing ball. Like, I wasn't worried about that. Like, I'm trying to make it playing ball, but I knew I had a love for music. You couldn't bring me, if I wasn't allowed with my music, I ain't want to go type deal. Like, you did not see me without earphones. You always see me with some type of earphones or headphones in my ear, like whether I got my phone or my iPod. I remember when I was playing college, coach used to take our phones like right before the game in the name of getting us focused. Man, look, I remember one time, because I be thinking smart, not hard. I remember one time I called my mama one day and I was just like, you think you could buy me an iPod like for Christmas or my birthday or something like that? Some type of holiday was coming up where I could start making requests for things. And I asked for an iPod. And I'm like, can I get an iPod just for music? Just iPod. You know what I'm saying? So boom, when Coach would take our phones, I'd bring my iPod out and get to you know what I'm saying? It's crazy how I never got in trouble for that. You would think I would get in trouble for that, but I never got in trouble for that. Never got flack from any of my other teammates. Because it would seem like I would have a backup phone, but I was so innocent with it. Like, I'm listening to my music. And I need my music. If you want me to be focused, if you want me to have my head right before a game, you gonna let me listen to my music. Let me do my thing. I never was that Nah, let me listen to my music, dog. Let me listen. That's my thing. So yeah, so boom, you got my love for music and my natural act of being able to talk. So you put that together and you get a rapper. You know what I'm saying? So the bug bit me after the studio session was over with. And of course, when you want to make money off of a talent, you have to know the business side of it. So this is where the entrepreneur side comes into fact. I went from athlete to artist to entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? Because the second you want to monetize your talent, you got to tap into the business. You have to educate yourself on how the business works. And any craft, it could be with music, fashion, freaking basket weaving, painting, whatever it is, mountain TVs, whatever it is, whatever you do, there is going to always be a business behind it. If you're trying to make money behind it, you got to educate on how business works. So, and that's where the entrepreneurship comes at. So once the bug bit me, I was just like, I bet this is definitely what I want to do with my life. Like, I want to be an artist. I want to be an artist, not just I want to be an artist. I love rapping, but I want to be an artist. This is that, the boom. That's what I want to do for a living, because it was all cloudy. Even when I declared a major, I still ain't know what I wanted to do. I was on some any, mini, miny, mo type deal when I picked my major. I ain't know. I was 17 years old when I picked my major. Normally, the average teenager don't know what they want to do for the rest of their life. You don't know. Your brain ain't even fully developed. You don't know. Some people might do know. But for the most part, I don't think people be knowing what they want to do for the rest of their life at that age. You still trying to figure yourself out, man. So that's what it was. So by the time I got out of college and then came back from overseas and was working a job that it was cool, but I'm just like, this ain't it. Yeah, I was just like, let me get the ball rolling with this creativity stuff so by the time, my time come, I'm already have enough foundation to really get myself going. So, and I've been doing that since 2018. It's 2025 now. So, hey, this what we doing. You know what I'm saying? I've definitely learned since then. I've elevated, I've evolved, I've matured. God, I've matured so much. Like, because I started this journey when I was 23, 24 years old, and I'm 30 now. So there you go. And I've learned so much. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, like, that's really it. Entrepreneurship, man, the business of it. And I ain't even just rapping. Like, I rap, but look what I'm doing now. I'm doing YouTube, podcasting, content creations. Because again, business, like, you got to know the business. You got to know what it is, supply and demand. It's so much stuff you got to educate yourself on to really make yourself go. You know what I'm saying? So, this is me just expressing myself and getting y'all to get to know me just a little 1-2 on how I am. It's gonna be more videos to come, but this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I done transition from athlete to artist to entrepreneur. All I want to do is just do what I love to do for a living, which is create. Now, granted, this is life. So at some point in time, like, you're gonna you're gonna at some point in time you're always gonna have to do something that you have to do something that you want to do. That's just life. But for the most part, I want to do what I love to do versus what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people are doing what they have to do to make ends meet. I don't want to live my life like that. I want to live my life doing what I want to do, doing what I love to do. And that ain't impossible. You just got to find a niche and stick with it until your dreams come true and never give up. So that's just what I've been doing for the past 8 years, and I still feel like I'm on the right track. So yeah, entrepreneurship. I'm doing what I'm doing for freedom. Freedom, and freedom ain't free. You got to work for this. Freedom is not free. Like, and I understand heavy is the head that wear the crown, or whatever they be saying. More power comes responsibility and all that. So, like, when you become free and you get to do what you want to do, you got to be very disciplined. You got to be mature. You can't be reckless. You got to have a good head on your shoulders. So, like, you know what I'm saying? So can't just know anybody have freedom, because you know what I'm saying? Some people don't know what to do with it. But that's why I'm doing it, for freedom, to do what I want to do, to have a positive impact on communities, to make myself and my family proud, to provide for my family and all that. Yeah, but freedom, like just waking up every day doing what you love to do, and then making a great living doing who don't want to do that? So yeah, so that's what I'm doing, man. Gems with Jewels, from athlete to entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? I was traveling, y'all, when I was playing ball. Like, I done seen some things. Like, I done caught flights because of sports. I done took car rides because of sports. Sports done took me some places. It done had me meet people. Like, playing sports was a good thing for me. And I'm just trying to get my life back to how it was when I was playing sports, just for a different reason. Now, sports is over with for me now, but when I get my entrepreneur stuff going, when I get my brand out there, I'm finna be back out there like I was playing sports. Y'all just wait. amber.jewelz, gems with jewels. So anybody that's pushing for something, keep pushing. Don't give up. Just understand it takes time. It takes consistency. You're going to take L's in the journey. Like, it ain't gonna be a straight line. You're gonna go through some highs and lows, some mountains and valleys. But if you establish why you doing what you're doing and stick with it, you ain't gonna give up, because you're gonna have your eyes on the prize. And that's what I'm doing. I've been having my eyes on the prize since 2018, and I haven't got deterred since. So let's get it. I mean, let's get it.